Stupid for politics. Come on, where's the applause, boy?
Yeah, yeah buddy, yeah.
Two. Right? Obama comes out fighting. Romney came out fighting and then stuttering a little bit. Let's go right to the panel here. Brett King, content creator.
Oh,
how are you? Hold on, I'm going to go around the table first. But
hey,
notice his shirt. So
very
just
happy man. Very happy man tonight.
All right, so Brett King, obviously on the Obama camp.
There you go.
Great. Now joining us today, Maggie Rowe.
Hello, Maggie Rowe.
Writer. There we go. Her new movie, Bright Day. Is out. Ron Zimmerman, you may know him from Howard Stern Show. He is what's your whole little trademarked?
I'm a sociological,
oh jeez, why did I ask?
political
Aren't you like fair and unbalanced?
consultant.
Is that what it is?
I'm fair and unbalanced.
Fair
and unbalanced. There you go. That's
all right. So let's get right into it. And by the way, this time we want you guys to call in. We got a lot of slack because we had too many liberals on the show, is what people were saying. You try to find a conservative in LA, and I will gladly bring them on. Please find a conservative in LA. But meanwhile, call in 323-680-LIVE. We made it easy. It's not even Skype. Call on your phone. Elaine over there is handling the calls. I don't even think she's even going to be able to. I think we're just going to go live, so don't say anything too bad. So, all right, let's get into it. Opinions of today's debate.
It was a remarkable night. We saw the return of Barack Obama. The man was clearly been missing in action, and he came back like Action Jackson. It was crazy. And I really just did that off the top of the dome. That came in like as that sentence was being formed.
I was going with Freaky Friday. They switched places from 1 and 2.
It was absolutely incredible. I mean, he was strong. He was powerful. He was to the point. He was assisted fantastically by moderator Candy Crowley, or as Preston Whitmore referred to her as a gangsta moderator, because she would not let anybody take any shit. So it was remarkable to see. I think that Myth was called on all of his lies, and done so convincingly in a way that even those remaining undecided voters, those remarkable people who still have not yet made the decision, I think they've gotten the message.
Which the crowd was made up of. Everybody who asked questions today was undecided voter, yeah. Which indicates to me there are a lot of undecided Jewish voters in Nassau County. Because that's all. Everybody. There was Latka. He was upset.
Yeah, but wouldn't you say you were an undecided voter if you got the chance to go in there and hang out with those people? Like, you know, I'd say that. Yeah.
Right.
And then I go and wear this T-shirt.
Yeah, that Latka guy was not undecided.
No, Latka was like, I want to vote for Mitt Romney. You're pissing me off.
Yeah.
Here.
No, that guy was like Latka Hannity.
And from according to Facebook, Sean Hannity has actually said that if the media tells you that you want that the president won the debate tonight, do not believe him. But if it says that Romney won the debate, you can believe him.
Well, we'll get some flash polls, so hopefully Elaine can have some. Oh, wait, Ron on his face.
Oh, yes.
This is not connected to anything. It's not even. Hopefully we can get some flash polls. People calling in, let us know. In the chat room, tell us what you think. We'll do our own little flash poll, see who you guys think won the debate. Maggie, what's your take?
My take, I agree. Candy Crowley, I thought, was gangsta. Whenever I watch all these debates, though, I always feel like I wish the moderator had more authority.
Right.
Like that they were, like that if they went off topic, if they weren't answering the question, that there would be a buzzer that was just like, bzz, like you have to go back, you have to go back. I just felt like so many times the questions are just diverged from.
Have you ever said gangsta before? Just used it in regular speak?
You know what? It might be the first time that was why there was some proper.
Yeah, no, I like that.
I think Mitt just wished that Candy was had gone home at 5 o'clock to make dinner, like a good woman should, because he was not a happy man.
There was a couple of creepy camera angles where he was walking towards her, like leering.
Menacingly.
I know.
Menacing, that's the
like
word,
he was
right?
threatening her. And like with women's issues, like he looked like a man who would threaten a woman when he came forward, and the way that Obama did
not to be well, Obama went for Mitt a couple of times, which reminded me of the Gore thing, which everybody said that was horrible, and Gore did it. He took steps towards, or maybe it was Kerry, I forget now.
No, it was Gore. It was Gore,
right?
yeah.
And so Obama definitely tried to take control at first, and at first when I saw that, I was like, this is not going to be good for Obama. He's going to look like the bad guy. He's taking steps towards him. You're not supposed to do that. But Romney,
a little bit of a swagger.
Yeah, he got a swagger, right?
Exactly.
But Romney went with it, which was probably a mistake. It seemed like Romney sort of fell into that trap. Like he got him in the corner, he brought him in, and they started wailing on him.
Well, again, it seems like a rope-a-dope strategy. As you were saying earlier, I think a rope-a-dope strategy. Everybody said that's what he was doing last time. I still don't know that I believe that, but he certainly came out like a thriller Manila tonight.
I think that this time, Barack Obama's a big sports guy. And I think the people that trained him this time, I wouldn't be surprised if he brought in like a sports coach that said, you know what? This isn't a debate, college boy.
Right.
This is a blood sport.
Exactly.
This is one-on-one, and your job is not to make points. Your job is to score points.
Right. Exactly.
And that's what he did. And I'm a centrist. I when I walked in there, I had said, I would say I'm sort of in a little undecided area.
Get the fuck out of here.
A little bit.
Come on now.
You're saying that you don't think it'll make that big of a difference.
My opinion is I really don't think it matters all that
Well,
much.
okay, here's the deal. So debates, they always say do not matter, except the last one in polls.
Right.
Like, this was the first time a debate made a blip in the polls. Will this bring the Democrat base back? We were talking before the show. Here was my take after that debate, before this debate, was, look, Obama's had a couple of good speeches. Not on policy, though.
Right.
And so I'm starting to doubt what is Obama's, and I can fully understand coming from the last debate. And it's not Romney, how good he was, it's how bad Obama was in that last debate.
Exactly
because
right.
when he's trying to sell his policy, he can't. He's a bad salesman. He's a professor. He's doing rhetorical theory. Do I want that in a president? I kind of don't. And then you hear, the Republicans didn't vote on any Job Act bill, right? And that's all the Democrats will blame that. That's why he can't get anything done. A good president maybe can negotiate, can get things done, and then you start to see his speeches, you start to see how he is on policy, you start to see how he was in that last debate, and you start to doubt maybe he's not that good. Maybe he's not a manager. Right? And that's what I think, Ron, you were discussing this as well. Wait, Ron's putting his drink down. You were saying Obama would be better not being president. I think we were touching upon last time.
I said that my hope for Barack Obama is that if he, whether he wins or loses, if he loses, then I hope within a year he is this country's civil rights leader, because we haven't had a great one, or even close to a great one, since Dr. King.
But you know what?
And
I got to say that
what
for me, that sounds like a demotion. He's the leader of the free world. He doesn't need to be just the leader of black folks in America,
But you know
or
what?
the
You're
He could
underprivileged.
have more effect.
Absolutely. You know what? When you're the president of the United States, you're muzzled. And I think Barack Obama, unmuzzled, is a much more powerful figure, a figurehead. Because he's not going to be just a civil rights leader for black people. This guy has already established he's a civil rights leader for gay people. He's a civil rights leader for Latin people. He's a civil rights leader for civil rights. For
It is
all
true. That's where your
rights.
oratory skills would be
Right.
better.
And this guy can give a speech,
Great
like
speech.
nobody's business. And
Unless it's on policy. Like most Democrats, I think he's
Right.
not a good salesman.
Yeah, exactly.
That's always a
You know.
Democrat.
But I
They-
think
they
what
do
we saw
logic and
tonight,
reason.
that he was not. What he realized tonight was it's all about perception, and if you have the perception of power and the perception of being in control, then you will win. And what he did tonight was he was clearly, from the very opening moment of that debate, he came out and gave specific proposals about how he would address the economic issues, how he would continue his economic policies. Romney came out and said, I have a 5-point plan. And then he said, it will be goodness, it will be light, America will be happy, we will fly, there will be
Kids,
jetpacks,
schools.
kids,
Yeah.
schools, moms,
995
great
points
this,
less than
apple
Bush's
pie,
year.
and did not say one of those points, not one.
Well, yeah, that's what
But
Romney.
what was great was the it wasn't so much that as the president then said, you don't have a 5-point plan.
You have a 1-point
Yeah,
plan,
you have
and
a
he came
1-point
at him.
plan.
And that's what
he-
he did. A friend of mine said earlier that this was not as much a debate as it was stumped speech-o-rama, in that people were actually able to and I think Romney, to his detriment, just repeat what they say on the stump, again and again and again. But what was great about this one was not only did they do their own stump speeches, Barack was very, very effective in completely deballing any Mitt Romney's claims. But when he said he's going to do this, when he said he's going to do that, he said, no, you didn't.
Right.
No, you haven't. And you didn't do that before. And this is what you ran on. He called him on everything that he did not call him on the last debate.
That's how it started. It started with Romney's exact was, I know what it takes to get this economy going. I know what it takes to create good jobs again. And then that was it. And immediately everybody goes, oh, here we go again.
Exactly.
But Obama smartly was coached to go, after the debate's done, not a lot of people are going on factcheck.org or something to check out what the real facts were. You got to debunk them now. People are watching this hour and a half. That's it, as you see from the polls, which completely turned around last time. So, yeah, it was a good strategy by him to just, every time he
Instead of
proved
looking
it wrong.
castigated like he did the last time, I felt like it was a little shamed
Right.
schoolboy.
Yeah.
And then if you don't know the policies, you're looking to him to see if he's uncomfortable, and if he looks uncomfortable, you assume that he's in the wrong.
And I think that Romney very effectively underscored virtually all of his weaknesses as a candidate. He was horrendous in his dealings with women. He was horrendous with his take on the economy. He was, when asked about how he knows about women, when the question was about women in the workplace and what one is to do about the lower wages for women making 72%.
No, that was great.
Obama comes in, he says, my grandmother worked, she did this, she worked her way up, she hit the glass ceiling, she knows what it's about. This is, because of that, I know that I have to deal with this.
Yeah, but
and then Romney said, well, when I went to build my cabinet as governor,
Right.
I looked around and there was no Bettys. And I said, I need a couple Bettys up in here.
But I got to be honest, he's got a binder full of women.
He does, and that's...
Say what you want,
Well,
the dude's got a binder. And
Well, because his entire policy is less taxes, more wives. So he needs actually...
well, that was
he
my
needs to-
thing. It's like, I didn't know anything about women. Well, ask your great-granddad or your granddad. I mean, that's... I heard something interesting. When he was governor of Massachusetts, I heard today, somebody was in his cabinet was talking about this. So there's an elevator that everybody takes, and all the legislators take with the governor, and that's when they get to talk to him. He banned anybody but him being able to take that elevator. That came out
I
today.
love that.
And that just
That's a
tells
good
you about the
metaphor
man,
for
because
the
what
going
it
to
is
the
when you're a
top.
governor, when you're a legislator, I want to hear from everybody. I got a brain trust around me. Same thing if you're working on we're all done TV shows. You kind of want everybody in your ear so you know what's good, what's bad, and you filter it all out. But apparently, he had his own private entrances and elevators that nobody else was allowed to talk to him.
On the other hand, how would he get people in to talk to when he's in an elevator with him in his car?
Not the car elevator.
How are other people supposed to even get in there? What, are they all supposed to get in the car and start talking to him like it's an episode of Happy Days?
So
I thought they were... Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Romney, where he was supposed to win this was on Libya. That was it. This is where he was going to win. This was going to be the end. I think everybody thought Obama's really got to come out fighting, but he's still going to lose on Libya, and this is going to be a big problem. Somehow, he stumbled. That was the only thing he stumbled on. Let's give Romney credit. He definitely had his points ready. He had his talking points ready. Knew what he wanted to say.
Yeah.
It was pretty close. He would fight back. He did interrupt a little bit more than Obama did. It felt a little disrespectful to the moderator at times, but he had his shit down.
Pretty
but
much.
not Libya.
Not
which
at
was
all.
the one thing he absolutely should have won. There was a lot of back and forth with both with Obama, for how many days of nobody really knew what was going on. Now, of course, Romney came out first before anybody else could do anything about Libya when that happened.
Well, but I think
that's
that's
what
exactly
killed him.
why it
That's what killed
worked.
him, yeah.
That's
The
what killed
reason
him.
he wasn't able to deal with Libya is because the moment the question was brought up, Obama wisely pointed out and correctly pointed out that the moment this happened, before anybody knew what had gone on, thousands upon thousands of miles away on the other side of the earth, he used this for political fodder.
He was
Right.
dead.
That was exactly
right
what he did.
there.
The moment that he said that, Romney was on his heels and he was never able to recover.
Yeah,
ever.
He was
Yeah.
And he
totally
stumbled his way
stumbled
through
through
it.
it.
You
Candy
know?
Crowley helped him out.
And
there.
you can't. Well, go ahead.
Yeah.
In what way?
Oh no! Just that she interrupted and said, "No, let's go." And let's
Oh,
see
exactly. Right.
what
Yeah.
Obama said."
So he wasn't even able to be Myth Romney this time because not only was the president saying that that's incorrect, Candy Crowley pointed out
No,
that
no,
that
no,
is
no,
a
no.
lie.
Yeah.
That is
Which,
wrong.
Well, and the
actually,
president-
I thought Romney was right on that because at one point there was the whole video thing, but apparently Romney picked the wrong speech that he referred
Exactly.
to because Obama definitely for a while, and it was talking points on Sunday morning,
Yeah.
newscast
No, that was the
that
thought.
it was the video, not terrorist. Then they changed around terrorists, and Romney just apparently picked the wrong speech that he
Well, you know what,
discussed. And Kenny's like, no,
he-
in that speech he said
He
terrorist.
tried to get kind of, Paul Ryan did a much better job with it,
Yeah.
with Biden.
Right.
He did a much better job of cornering him on it.
Although Biden
And
still took him out.
Biden took him out, but Ryan did a very good job with the facts and what was presented.
Right.
And Romney, Obama was like just shy of accusing this guy of treason.
Well, what was
know,
unbelievable is
and-
he said that Mitt tried to say, okay, you're saying this now, but you knew what was going on. You were just lying. He basically, well, the subtext of his statement was, you were lying to the American people to cover your own ass at your own failings. And Obama absolutely, in a very superior, I thought,
Yes.
respectful, and again, powerful position,
Bigger
just
man.
took him out.
But
as the
you know
bigger
what
man.
else? They completely forgot that Barack Obama, one thing about that guy, through his whole presidency, he is a guy that has always, he will always go, no, it's my responsibility.
Exactly.
He's never not said, no, it's my responsibility. He's not, now, of course, nobody knows what happened to Reverend Wright, but I'm sure, when they find Hoffa, they'll find him. But this guy from day one has never shirked saying, I'm the President of the United States, and it's my responsibility.
And even today,
and
when
there was
Hillary tried to
no
take it off of his
way-
shoulders and
no
truly tried to
way
give
he's
him a
gonna
little bit of
throw
political
Hillary under
capital.
the bus.
He wouldn't
No
do it.
He's not going
way.
to scapegoat.
I thought the other place too, where
Well, plus,
where
not messing
Romney
with the
should have
Clintons.
been should have had at least a bit of an advantage was talking about trade and talking about China, because he does have a pretty good record as a businessman, and I think that he gave Barack Obama the best line of the night. Sure, his plan would create 800,000 new jobs, but those jobs would be in China. That was like, oh my God, again.
I think I mentioned this before. What is the deal with Romney in China? Like, I made a joke on Twitter that maybe he got a bad fortune cookie.
You're
Didn't
right.
didn't like his numbers for the lottery. But honestly, is it
has-
just the Cold War thing if he thinks, I'm going to hit Americans over the head with this because we don't have Russia, we need a common enemy, the terrorist thing is a little too convoluted, nobody can understand Middle East, China's red, let's try to get another Cold War. That's
They're
a nice
big,
way
they're
to
taking
go
our
into
jobs.
this. Yeah.
I mean-
because he has shipped jobs to China. He has pension funds that he has blind trust. That was the weird part. So he was right to say it to Obama. I guarantee you Obama also has blind trusts and pensions that have investments in China, because that's what happens when you buy mutual funds and pensions and all that.
Right.
But how does that hit the American public, the middle
Exactly.
class? It reminded me of the time when Romney bet the $10,000.
It was exactly
It's
that.
like, what about your pensions, huh, America? Wink. And he was
Right.
like,
And
I don't
you
know what
know,
that
and
is.
He thought he was going to get in on him like that.
I don't have capital gains. I don't know what you're talking
Exactly.
He
about.
did it in such a kind of, I don't know, he did it in this almost half creepy, half bully way of,
Yeah, he mentioned
It was
what about
very
your
schoolboy.
pension
He said it a
fund?
bunch of times.
What about your pension fund?
It
What
was
about
very
your
schoolboy.
pension
Again, he
fund?
was
And
absolutely
you know
right
what?
to do it if it would have hit the middle class
Yeah.
target. It was so off target.
Exactly. It was
Because-
two rich guys
It was
talking
two
about
rich
what
guys.
what they're doing with their
Also,
money.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. I mean, I'm in unions, and I have a pension fund, and it's like, hey, you know what? If part of my pension fund is invested in China or the Cayman Islands, wherever his money is, and when it's time for me to get it, which is really soon, and I get it, I don't give a fuck fuck where the money comes
No,
from.
but the
I
point
want
of
my
it, the
money.
reason why it was why it didn't work for Romney, why it really backfired against Romney, is his defense about his investments in China was, I have a blind trust.
Well,
that
he's been
means
using that
I
for-
have so much money.
Right.
That I just give it to motherfuckers
Right.
and they just
Yeah,
do
they
with it what
invest
they
in it.
will,
But-
and apparently I get more money. I don't even know how it
here's the deal, look,
happened.
But he
I-
was trying
you know?
to. He was trying so hard to get to his old talking point of, I have a blind trust, and I don't know what they do
Yeah,
with it. But
but
that's already been
But
discredited
again, out of
because
touch.
they've already they have him on tape saying, "Are you kidding? I know exactly where
Right.
every penny I have
Of course,
is."
if you're a miser,
So he's
you're,
trying to get to his lie.
if you're a
and he
guy,
didn't have a chance.
I mean, that's the problem with trickle down economics, right? If you're somebody who makes a lot of money, you're a miser. That usually
Right.
that's how you make a lot of money. It's very rare that Bill Gates
Right.
exists in this world. Of like, I'm
Or
going to
Warren
give
Buffett,
everything
right.
away. It's I am worth a lot because I know where all my money's going. I know who I'm investing in. I mean, look, I do small investments. I'm an animal rights guy. I know damn well I don't invest in companies that test on animals.
Right.
I know that. I research that. If you're making money, you absolutely research where your money's going.
No, but that your defense is, I have so much money, I can't
Yeah,
really
I don't
keep
know.
track
I
of
can't
all
keep
of
track
it. That's not really going to connect
But he thinks it
with
does.
it. Yeah, and
Well,
again,
also,
you know, that's good. Goes to the other point. You know, this debate could have been over like in 5 minutes if Barack had just come out and said, Mitt, how much is milk? Just a gallon. Tell me, just right now.
Yeah,
Go, real
I mean,
quick. How much a gallon?
That's
you know,
the Bush Senior thing of like, whoa, look at that scanner thing at the grocery store. What is that? And
Yeah,
that
right.
was that moment. Which that's
well,
there's these guys are out of touch. Look,
You know, they're
Obama,
both-
I'm
they
sure, is
both
just as out
are,
of
you
touch.
know?
Obama's not going to the grocery store and buying milk.
to a
He's
certain
not.
extent, no.
So,
Because it takes like 20 cars
there's
to get
nobody,
there,
yeah,
and there's a whole thing.
Nobody who's running for president
And
in this day and age is a man of the people.
And this is-
Biden
this is-
comes the closest.
Although,
Well,
and
you know how
yeah,
much
true.
people
That's
spend
true.
in proportion to a certain extent of their income on different things, if you're aware of
Right.
the country
This is
that you're
this is
governing.
my problem with I think this is the problem with the with like who wins this race is the president of the United States decides literally so little. Romney's trying to stick him with high gas prices.
Right.
Well, the president, he has nothing to do with that.
But I'll tell you what the president does do is he sets the tone for the nation and the way that the nation deals with the rest of the world. If you think that there's no difference between presidents, then look at the nation under Ronald Reagan and look at the nation under Bill Clinton. Those are very, very different. That's different the way that we're perceived in the world. That's different in the way that we perceive ourselves. If there is someone in the highest office in the land who says it is important that all of us care for one another, that we really, rather than the Reagan approach of, everyone's for themselves.
But we were not perceived, badly during Reagan. We were perceived.
That is incorrect. That is a misstatement.
Well,
Candy? No.
Where is she? Where is
I
she?
mean, listen, they don't use that Mr. Gorbachev tear down that wall thing because it's not effective every chance they get. I mean, that was something that did, make America feel proud.
Okay, well, look at it this way. After 9/11, we had the greatest outpouring of sympathy from the entire world, probably in history. Like, I don't think there was ever a time
Right.
when we got so much love from the international community. Within a year, George Bush, because of his policies, because of his approach, because of how he handled that, we were vilified throughout the world. Throughout the world. You could not travel anywhere outside of this country without being blamed for George Bush's policies.
But that's also because he tried to switch villains in the middle of the fight.
And
Right.
he
But
did.
that brings us to a good question. Then I want to go to we have a social media expert. But I thought one of the best questions tonight was, what's the difference between you and George Bush? To
That was
Romney?
excellent.
And then my thought
Which he
was,
didn't
he
answer.
didn't answer, right? He sort of went around, then he started doing some policy stuff, but it
I'm
didn't.
not sure either one of them answered that.
He didn't,
very
yeah,
good.
and it. So,
No, but he did tell them the
I mean, there's
difference.
plenty
No,
of
he
differences,
did.
like-
Barack talked about a few of the differences.
I mean, there's a huge difference
But
between
you know what?
Romney and Bush, though,
But
because
you know what?
Romney got his power and his money and everything from his rich dad, and Bush.
Oh, wait a minute now.
No, you know what? Obama did it differently. He didn't answer it. What he did was he switched it, and he said he switched it to, here's the good things George Bush did, and that I did too.
I know, but he also said that Romney would not do, and so he did in effect point out those differences.
But it wasn't like what's the difference between him and George Bush. He said. He basically turned it around and went, here's the similarities. Here's some good things George Bush did that I also did.
All right, well, here's the deal. We know what we're saying.
Which was fine.
We definitely need more
fine.
conservatives, so please call or even write on the YouTube page right now. But meanwhile, we have Ray Purehole, who joined us last time.
Oh,
He is now back.
Ray.
Oh, my
He's
goodness.
at Hofstra.
Oh, my goodness.
Is he in New York? Let's get Ray. Oh, there's Ray.
Ray.
Hello?
All right. Where are you? Are you at Hofstra?
Yes,
Oh, how's it going there in New York?
it is. Well, I have to tell you, I've been very busy the entire time monitoring all social media. And of course, your viewers know when I say social media, I am talking about the big 8. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, GetGlue, Tumblr, Etsy,
Wow.
and Chat Roulette.
Oh yeah, of course, chat roulette. Well,
How is Etsy?
By the way, Mike, Elaine, Brett, Ron, Maggie, you all look fabulous. Hi, happy anniversary.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you.
What I've done tonight is pieced together from everyone's tweets and updates what I think is more or less a complete picture of how social media viewed the entire debate. Obama, of course, energized, more aggressive, and we all said, hey, who's the new girl? But Romney kept dancing with the stars, so he remained the X factor. Then Obama said, so, you think you can dance? And Romney said, well, I think America's got talent. That was the point when Obama totally wanted to go Dexter on him. Did I say Obama? That's how high I am. So, anyway, Romney, not Walking Dead, that's just what happens to criminal minds. More importantly, I think everyone on Twitter understood tonight's debate dynamic. Romney, filled with glee, looking to play a Game of Thrones. Obama, we all thought was a little grim, clearly out for revenge. So Obama says, Governor Romney, your Big Bang Theory is breaking bad. Romney fired back, Mr. President, let me tell you how I met your mother. Obama said, you Republicans are a bunch of madmen. To which Romney basically said, F you, we're the homeland. And Obama said, no, you're the fringe. We're doing what's best for the modern family. And Romney goes, hey, I'm the family guy. You're not even keeping up with the Kardashians. And Obama said, America doesn't need your storage wars because we're Pawn Stars now. And Romney says, tell that to the Real Housewives of Miami.
There you have it.
In summary,
Wow, you really have it on every social media site today.
There it is.
in summary, according to social media,
Yeah.
Obama still likes. In summary, according to social media,
Edit that out. It's fine. We're not live.
Obama still looks like the American Idol, but Romney remains a person of interest.
Nicely done. Very nice. Nicely done. Nicely done.
That's social media chatter. I'm not sure. Did they?
Of any of that.
You know,
Yeah.
Brilliantly done, but I'm not sure who won the debate.
That was amazing. To stay within that area for just a second, I'd
Wow.
like to point out a couple of things. One, I think both candidates' wives wearing the same dresses
Yes.
That's a little funky.
is a little
That's a little
weird.
funky.
That light
Yeah, I was very
lavender.
embarrassed.
Okay, and I also think this is the second debate and the second time both candidates have worn the same color suit.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
always,
It's
it's
like
always like
stop.
the dark
You have navy blue
Yeah.
or charcoal
Well,
gray.
yeah.
That's it. Those are
You
your
know,
choices. Red tie or blue tie.
Try
That's it.
something. Try
But that's
I
all
feel
you
like
got.
Ford may have won a tweet
Yeah,
thing, but
I
I don't
think
think
that- I think
And look how well that went for him.
Feels like it should
You
have.
know what? Somebody ought to try something. And also, both of these guys, worst haircuts ever.
Oh, I'm feeling Barack's haircut, actually.
Oh,
I'm jealous.
that
I'm jealous of
haircut
his
is-
hairline,
that
actually.
haircut
Being
is
able to do the
just
Caesar
awful.
cut.
I mean,
What do you mean?
he has hair. Grow a
Like
little
it was
out.
balding?
Yeah,
Is it
it's
the-
like, It's like grow a little out, you know. It's like.
So you want to rock a TWA,
I want him to
teeny
look
weeny
like-
afro?
You know, hey, a little Link from the Mod Squad. Would that be so
Link
wrong? Some
on.
shades, you know?
Yeah, yes, that would.
Okay, yeah, that would be wrong. I understand. In many ways, it's wrong, but I mean, grow it out a little. At least get it to Denzel length.
Well,
you
you
know,
could do that. Maybe that's a possibility. But I'm
you
thinking
know,
he's looking good.
And Mitt's hair, for some reason, they keep, you know, maybe his hair guy just hates him and keeps going, you know, I'm not going to tell him, but I'm going to make him look like Frankenstein again.
Oh no, he's fucking
and
Reed Richards. He is, like, completely straight up and
he's
down.
not even though, because it now they got it shaved in the back so much.
Yeah.
That it does give him a Frankenstein.
Well,
kind
but
of
he's
look.
running
There
with
was
Eddie
no tan
Munster.
this time around. He didn't do the tan.
He didn't do the orange tan.
No.
That's good. But
And he also, whereas Maggie was talking about how the president had that, you know, I'm a bad boy, I got my head down in the first one. This one, there was a lot of shots of Romney where, and like I said, I went into this and I thought it would be really interesting if Romney, you know, was like had that same game on.
No, that would have been great.
And
Not as great as this.
But
would've been
they had a lot of shots of him where, boy, did he look busted
All
and
right.
guilty
angry.
and
Why don't they shake their heads
you know.
more?
Well, that's the other thing. More eye rolling.
We have conservative. We have a conservative here.
Yay!
Yay.
Todd
String 'em
says, the Todd Tobin. I saw Obama as desperate and accusatory and spinning yet authoritative. I saw Romney as in charge of issues, sometimes too forward, but firm and concerned about where the country is.
I
That
don't
is
think
remarkable.
Romney ever looks concerned. Like,
Yeah.
I really do. It seems like that Christian Front thing of where you're doing the nice thing, but really, you know, they don't really care about you.
Right.
I also think that I'm surprised by that. The concern for the state of the country, I absolutely think, and I think his concern for the country is actually genuine.
Absolutely.
You know,
I do
and you
too.
know, just like in the last election when Barack was talking about McCain, this is a guy who genuinely does
Yeah.
care about America, and he genuinely does feel like we're going in the wrong
Yeah.
direction. However,
He
I
does-
think that he does that. He presents himself as exactly the kind of person who does not care about Americans. He cares about America, the idea that allows him to be rich, powerful, and on
See,
top of the
now,
world.
here's how I see it. I see it as, maybe I'm wrong, I don't see that, I mean, I like to say that Romney doesn't care about the money as much as, is it a challenge to him, because he brings this up a lot, and when he was in Massachusetts, it was 85% Democrat legislature.
Right.
He bought it all together, and they did pass some great bills, including the
Healthcare,
Obamacare,
yeah.
healthcare, which Obama took from,
Right.
without a doubt. So Romney...
Apparently, he introduced some gun
Romney-
control legislation too, but he's not
Yeah,
for
we'll
that
get to
anymore.
Romney, no doubt, is a great manager. Like it or not, he is. And that's what this country needs, right? I feel like the country needs a great manager.
Yes.
Okay.
He's a great
I
manager. He can reach
I agree.
across the aisle. It's not compassionate conservatism, which was the BS that Bush put out there.
Mm-hmm.
But, wait, we got some kind of sound coming through. But he definitely can reach across and get things done, I think, as a business guy.
Yes.
Which is not a good thing necessarily, but it is look, you work with business guys and they do get shit done, but everybody behind their back's like, oh,
Yeah,
that
but
boss
here's
is
the
a pain in
thing.
the ass.
A successful business is a business that runs as efficiently as possible.
Right.
And businesses that run efficiently as possible and are concerned, and as businesses are supposed to be, as concerned solely with profit, if that is your only goal, to make as much money as possible and to be as efficient, ruthlessly as efficient as possible, then you can be a really good manager. And you
seems
can
like he's
outsource
committed
jobs
to
and you
that.
can
Right.
get
Now,
rid
is
of
that
people.
is that bad
That is
for a
bad for the
president?
country. Yes, because the running a country is not like running a company. A country has all kinds of other problems. They have bad roads. They have crumbling infrastructures. They have emerging technologies that have to be attended to and
People
exploited.
that can't work that you have to
Yeah, they have people. They have about I don't know, roughly say I'm going to say about 47% of the country who doesn't necessarily have the ability to move forward in a way that so many others
let's-
at the top.
Let me take the other side. So you're working for a boss, or let's say you're working in a company and somebody's not pulling their weight. You have a good manager who can get them to pull their weight or fires them, right? And that's essentially what I think he feels about the 47%. I feel like he's the boss and he's like, that guy's not doing a good
No.
job. I'm giving him one or two chances and he's
He
out.
said, I will never be able to get them
Right.
to take personal responsibility for their lives. And that is a statement that is an individual who looks at those less fortunate than him as that it is their fault that they are there, that circumstance didn't have anything to do with it. And that's bullshit.
Right.
Or even the circumstance that made them not be able to work. Like even the parents that didn't push them to be hard workers. Like even that concept. I feel
Simple
like
thing. There was a study done not too long ago, in poor, very, very poor households, poverty level households. The number of words that a kid hears between the ages of 0 to 3 versus the number of words heard in a household where they're making only 50,000 and above, and I don't know the exact figures, but it's roughly triple. And the amount of positive words that they hear is like 5 times as many. So when you're a person who isn't even exposed to language while you are learning to speak, your ability to succeed in this country is severely impaired versus the person who is born with a silver spoon in his mouth. It's just the way it is. And if you believe that 47% of the country is where they're at because they're not working hard enough, if you believe that the way to get into business, if you're having a hard time, you should ask your parents for a loan, then this is a person who does not understand the plight of the majority of this country.
I don't think anybody's saying he does.
Well, that guy is.
Well, I think he no, but I think people see him as a possibly good manager. I think people see it as my husband lost his job, and I'm going to blame Obama. And I keep saying on Facebook, I'm like, anybody who took Economics 101 knows not to blame the president on your job or your gas prices. It's nothing to do with anything.
Right.
The president doesn't run OPEC.
Right.
It's just not how the world works, but everybody wants to have a scapegoat. Right? And then I think people would say, look, the guy was a good manager in business. We know the economy's not that great, although it's improving. And the stock market's been phenomenal under Obama, just as it has under every Democratic president, which is odd.
Yeah,
Republicans
it is, right?
are all about their, I think the difference is the stock market goes up, but not in a percentage that equals capital gains, because the Republicans all want to cut their capital gains tax, which means when you sell a stock, you got to give 33% of your profit. And of course, Republicans don't want to give that much. Yet the stock market's always better under Democrats.
Right.
That's been proven.
That was a remarkably wonky statement of
Yes.
yours. That was very well done, though. Well done.
It made sense, right?
It did. It all made sense. It was great.
But here's fighting back against Todd Tobin in the chat room. Bart Lack says, you and I are not watching the same debate because I saw Romney for the elitist lying bully that he is under the nice hair. So
I think I'm with that guy.
Many people see many different things. But he likes the hair.
Why do you like that?
I think he's got hair. I think he's got good hair. I really do. I will give that to Mitt.
No,
think
I'm
I'll give
saying,
him that he's got good hair.
he has great
the
hair,
best part
but
is
Let's
the
talk
he has
about
great
this.
hair. Except he obviously just had a haircut for the debate, and it looks.
All right, we're going to wrap this up pretty soon, but let's get into some lighter stuff. President, I believe it was nobody under 5'9" has ever been president. It's a height thing. So
No, that's not true. What's like the guy who James Madison?
All right,
was,
so going back.
I mean, I'm going back a little far.
I think everybody was
literally
under 5'9" then.
the guy
I don't
who
know if that counts.
the guy who commissioned "Hail to the Chief." I can't remember which president that was. I actually learned this at the White House when I was at White House.
I'd love
But
to hear
anyway,
your story.
the guy who commissioned that, the reason he commissioned it is because he was so short that often when he walked into a room, people didn't really notice. So he got this song together so that when he came in, everybody would know the president has now walked into the room.
we're
And that's why we have Hail to the Chief.
See, we're teaching. Yeah, and FDR couldn't stand up. Thank you, Elaine. That's Elaine Ewing from the Peanut Gallery. That's a good joke.
And we certainly know if
but-
Mitt Romney is actually really short and looks so tall, it's because he wears elevator shoes. But no one would know it because he doesn't allow
can't get in
anybody in there.
And his car is parked there. But the point was, going back obviously to the Nixon-Kennedy debates, how much, and does it feel like anymore, and I don't think it is as much, how much are we basing it on looks? This guy looks presidential, this guy feels presidential. Now, was that the last debate? I think definitely. Obama did not look presidential at all, and then you obviously started wondering, like, I wonder if he's that way when he's talking to foreign dignitaries. This is bad.
Well, but they're both. I mean, it's unusual actually because you don't usually get two good-looking,
Right.
That's very true.
two like slim good-looking, charismatic guys running for president.
That is very rare.
I mean, you know, McCain.
Usually one of them is Al Gore.
McCain. It was like, it was like,
Dukakis.
oh my God, McCain! What's with that scar in his face? It's like, who are we voting for? Al Capone? You know, so I mean, you know, it's all, you know, Nixon and
Nixon and McGovern.
You know,
That was pretty bad. That was a bad one.
It's usually, you know, it is very unusual to get.
All right, so both are good looking.
It was.
They are
Good-looking.
both good-looking guys, you know.
Both can
I
walk
mean,
very well.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like the ability to, like, as,
Yeah,
as
definitely
an
good
actress,
body
like
posture.
the ability to go forward and back on stage.
All
is
right,
And to
let's-
threaten Candy Crowley. One thing I got to say though, one thing, the thing that I was extra excited about tonight was that not only did he make the points that I had hoped for him to make in the last debate. So, you know, the outsourcing to China, being one of the pioneers of outsourcing to China. You know, the amount of money that he makes and how he's out of touch. But the most brilliant moment for me of the night was when he was able to get in as the last person speaking his entire run on the 47%
Well, yeah.
without Romney being able to present any sort of rebuttal. That was genius.
Yep.
That was
well,
great.
it was also, you know, very good luck
Yeah,
That he-
that he
coin
got
toss,
the
yeah,
last
yeah.
word.
good.
So quickly,
So-
Todd Tobin
so-
answered back. There's a little fight going on in the chat room. I'm
Todd,
loving
I love it.
You guys need to call in. I made it simple. It's you just dial on your phone. Todd says back to E. Bartlak. As a leader, you don't keep bringing up the issues you inherited. You fix them, and STFU. Shut the
STFU?
fuck up.
Oh, thank you.
Which look, I get
didn't know
it.
what the ST was.
That's again. You have to be open-minded. You have to go. He inherited. It's no fair. And the Republicans aren't playing ball. But then you got to go. He's the leader, and his job is to make them play ball. Is to
However-
negotiate with them and get what
Yeah.
he needs to do things. So I completely agree with Todd.
He inherited the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. How long did it take FDR? He took him 3 terms and a war to turn us around. Okay?
Well, this is what
As my
Clinton
good
said.
friend Bill Clinton said,
This is what Clinton
there is no president
Right.
that could turn this around in 4 years. As you said earlier this evening, this is on a 7-year cycle. It will take at least 7 years for this to
Yeah.
turn around. And stock market on fire. Rich people making more money than they ever made before, and General Motors not dead.
Yeah. I mean, here's the 7-year thing. The 7-year cycle is housing. Housing, whenever it tanks, always takes 7 years. Always. Since I believe 1920 something. I wish I had that exact thing. But it's a fact. And if you're looking to buy a house, I
Candy?
tell my friends, don't
No, I'm sorry.
buy it till the spring of 2012 into the beginning of 2013. And oh, look what happened.
Yeah.
And I said that 5 years ago. It's a cycle. President can't control it. President can't control the economy that much. Yes, he can do jobs creations. No, he's not working well with the Republicans. Republicans aren't well with him. Whatever it is, it's not happening. But no, there was not much he can do. Next president, whoever it is, whoever the next president is going to look like a genius because this economy is coming back. It is right now. So whoever the next president is, Obama will get the credit or Romney will get the credit because it's not going to tank again.
And here's the part that I think is the worry of both these sides and everything, but more the Obama side is you go, you know, you live in Ohio, you get in the booth, you're looking at those 2 names,
One of them's Mitt.
and you're thinking one of them is Barack.
Well, that's true. Good point. Good point.
And
Well said.
and you're sitting there and you're thinking about it and you're going, you know, okay, I don't know if either of these guys are full of shit or what, but you know, and you have to admit there's going to be people that are going to think like this, where they go, do I want another 4 years of, you know, was he born in this country? Is he a Muslim? You know, how
But I
come,
think that
how
those guys
come-
aren't even
how
thinking
come-
about that
How
stuff.
come they never pass any of his bills? How come they keep threatening to shut down the government on him? You know, why does Congress is so terrible and the Senate's so terrible and it must be his fault. He's the president.
They're
But
going to
I
have to
say-
play ball
and-
because
and-
2016 is Hillary. I don't think there's any doubt
Right.
she's winning in 2016.
But
Here's the
They've got
thing.
4
Here's the
years.
thing.
that's the you know, it's just like something I think people would rather not think about, but a lot of people are going to think about when they're in that booth looking at those 2 names is just, you know, there's a certain
You know, I got to say, I think of greater concern is that when I get into that booth, particularly in Ohio, they're going to be voting on electronic voting machines that were created by Bain.
Yep. And Diebold, who was in trouble
how many
last
people
time
are,
in Ohio.
but how many people are going to know that?
Listen to that. It doesn't matter. It literally won't matter.
You know,
that's why in the last
here's the
election.
interesting thing. That's why, you know, we got to wrap this up pretty soon, but here's a big question leading into that, which I wasn't even going to cover. All this polling, does it even matter if you get to the booths and you can't vote? Right? There's a lot of disenfranchising, and I believe the Supreme Court just said no to all the crazy that Ohio was trying to disenfranchise voters. I think today it came out that Supreme Court ruled that all down, so hopefully the voting's a little more open in Ohio this time around.
The voting, but what about the voting machines?
Yeah, the machines. I mean, last time you had Diebold was ahead of it, and then Bush, he won more than existed in that county.
300,000 votes after 12:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened. They just showed up.
Yeah, they just showed up. So yeah.
On the other hand, then the other thing to consider is there's one more debate, which is the last one, which is sort of like getting the last word in.
Well, they're saying that
tonight.
doesn't matter. Here's why. Because they're saying there's 1 out of 8 of the undecided is left, and then they're going to make most decisions now. So that's like all the polling tells us this is where everybody's to make their decision before next Monday.
I don't
is
believe
6
that
days
at
away.
all. It's too
But
close.
let's really quick.
If that next debate, if Romney somehow comes back and just turns it into a bloodletting,
I think,
on
but
President
don't forget, there's already
Obama,
been voting. There's already been people make up their minds.
He's in trouble.
Here's the deal. So, snap poll from CBS: Obama wins 58 to 36% with the undecided, the independents.
Nice.
So that's a turnaround.
Yep. That's a
really
big turnaround.
quick,
it's
before I
gonna
wrap
be a
this up,
big
two
turnaround.
things, because I said I'd touch on it. NRA. Nobody ever talks about the NRA because they can't, because it's the biggest lobbying group in the history of America. No president's going to do anything about gun control. Is that right or wrong?
It is without any question. Even after the tragedy that took place
Nothing.
in Aurora,
I have to
is that where it
say,
was?
I think
In Colorado.
Colorado, yeah.
Nothing.
I thought
It's ridiculous.
that Obama showed a lot of balls just mentioning
Yeah.
that
But he's not going to do anything.
that Romney was up their ass, and
so is Obama.
yeah,
Everybody's at the
of course,
NRA's ass.
but
It's
the
ridiculous.
way he phrased it made it sound like he wasn't, which is
Yeah.
why he
But
did it
But the
so
fact
well.
that-
It
the
was
fact that
it's like,
that
yeah,
event
but
can
you know,
take
you did
place.
anything to get the NRA, and it really did make Obama look like the guy who was against it.
Okay.
But the Batman shooting taking place and literally
Nothing.
not even a national discourse on let's
nothing.
increase gun control.
You can't.
It's
You
not gonna
cannot.
change.
Again, the president doesn't run the country. The lobbyists do. Is
There you
that
go.
too Noam Chomsky for you?
That's a little bit overly correct.
Well, maybe the way
Too
you're
overly
saying,
simplified,
maybe
but
the way-
honestly, the
maybe
NRA
the
has
way-
a lot of power.
Maybe the way you're saying it is what's keeping it from turning into what you wanted to turn into, because nobody really wants to get into a huge debate of something called the Batman shooting.
Yeah.
It's like, with the Batman shooting, I think it's time. It's like, what? Batman's dead? Who shot Batman?
They always shoot.
It's like, what? They're using somebody used an assault weapon to kill Batman?
I'm going to go around the table. Here's what I have learned from these debates. So far, the two debates, I learned that neither of them can remember the name Lorraine.
Apparently.
Right? What is that?
Lorena.
Lorraine.
Care.
Lorraine.
Carrie.
Carrie, don't get that guy started. And then it seems like, Obama is, the first one, I don't know what he was, he didn't have any policy, he didn't have anything. This one, he was defending what he did. He was taking some blame for it this time around. Romney, to me, seems like possibly a competent manager. Again, the bad guy manager, but yet possibly can get things done. You're right, there's a difference between business and government.
Mm-hmm.
Have to investigate more, see what, he had Massachusetts. Supposedly, did people like him or didn't like him? He got health care done, although now he's against that same exact health care. We don't know. What are your thoughts? What are you taking away? Take off your Obama, close up your Obama shirt.
Okay. Just
Honestly,
for the moment.
seriously, what have we learned good about both? That if you're an undecided voter, you're looking
Yeah.
at.
Good about both?
Well, you're an undecided voter,
Okay.
and you want to weigh both of them.
I would go back to what I said earlier. I genuinely believe that Mitt Romney is genuinely concerned about the course of this country and would genuinely like to see it go in a different direction. My personal concern is the direction he wants it to go in is the direction that it had gone in for many years before that got us into the worst economic crisis since FDR. And that the his whole idea of making things better for the top will make things better for everybody has been, we have a good 30 years of data that doesn't make sense. As Joe Kelly said, as was said in Time magazine, the rich, when they do make money, they don't tend to spread the wealth. They tend to buy more expensive horses, and that's just the problem. Yep. And the thing that I learned about Obama is that when the thing that
you have to buy horse grain, and somebody makes that grain.
Yeah, well, there is that.
If you're honestly, if you're buying a nicer car, you're buying more gas from the gas station down the street. You're getting that car detailed by somebody,
by an illegal Mexican.
Wash. Well, in a car wash. I mean, if you're buying things, that's what they're hoped for. I don't know how much that actually happens. Do rich people actually buy more when they get more money, or do they just sock it away?
Or do they sock it away in the Cayman Islands like Mitt Romney?
Yeah.
So, the thing that I was happy to learn about Barack Obama is that he was willing, able, and ready to nut up and reclaim his position as the reigning champ. I mean, he came back, he manned up, he grabbed his, and he took it there. It was
Maggie,
great.
your thoughts?
I was surprised in both that it was even close. I guess that was Mitt Romney is not a complete idiot. Was what I was like, wow, oh my God, he's not just terrible. But I mean, I thought anyway. I think that was my impression.
What about Obama?
Oh, did you learn anything new there?
Did I learn anything new about Obama? I feel like I thought I would have gone into it thinking that he would have just wiped the floor with Mitt Romney. So I came out of it thinking, wow, he's not the absolute hero that I thought he was.
He didn't. He wasn't Ali.
He was not Ali.
Ali Boumbaye.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish there was. I wish one of them. There wasn't like that great line.
Yeah.
You want. I mean,
there's no quotable.
There you go
There's nothing
again.
quotable.
Yeah, he came close. Obama came close, but it was like he wouldn't quite go after it hard enough. And he's a funny guy. And
I thought the 800,000 jobs in China was pretty funny,
It
but that's not a
was.
takeaway line.
Not a takeaway.
You're correct.
But you know what? I do think it's not because of the I'm a humorist of sorts, but
He had the sketchy deal.
you
thing,
can
though.
make
How's that?
it a lot of times you can make a point better with a little humor.
Mm-hmm.
And since I know, I mean, Ann Romney says apparently Mitt Romney is the funniest guy she's ever met in her life, and that's why she fell for him.
She hangs out with a lot of Mormons.
But I have seen Barack Obama be very witty and very
Humor's
funny.
tough.
And I
He was
would,
tough, especially in that setting. I would agree.
But here's the deal, because
but there's
what
spots,
you find
know?
funny, I mean, this is for me. What I find funny, America doesn't find funny.
They
All the
often
shows
find-
I love get canceled. The rest
But
of it
also,
gets canceled.
but what you find sometimes when you are, particularly in this kind of setting, if he did go for the easy laugh or he did go for a joke, one of the issues I think is that it becomes off as a little bit arrogant and unconcerned.
Yeah.
Because the weight of these discussions should be not just stumporama, as my friend Paul Provenzano said, but that it should be a weighty discussion of the issues.
Speaking of funny, on Twitter, @Tara Lynn says, "OMG, Ron Zimmerman, you typing on the keyboard made me laugh so hard. Streaming Garage, you made my night."
Wow, there you go.
Nice.
Okay,
Okay.
I feel like that's a good closer.
I think that's it. We made
so
the
that was
night.
from Hofstra, right? And I think the thing we learned, I want to close on a joke. The thing, well, I don't forget.
Oh, come on, you got it. What do you got? What do you got? What do you got?
I-
Oh, no,
that's not a
that's
good
not
one.
it. That's not it. You can't end on that one. That's
But
not it.
the next one is from Boca Raton, which
It's going to have a remarkably similar demographic
to
makeup.
Long Island.
Long Island.
Long Island, and they all flew to Boca.
It's actually, it's all the
winter
people
time.
that used to live in Hofstra are going to be there for the debate. That's
absolutely.
exactly right.
So that's the next
Audience
debate.
of
We'll be back
Gilbert
Monday night.
Gottfried's.
I'm not sure, Ron, you're going to be possibly on
No,
Skype
I
with us?
am going to be.
You're going to be here. All right. So we will see you guys next time.
Wouldn't that be
Don't
funny
forget
if-
to Twitter this. What do you got?
Wouldn't that be funny if the debate in Florida is like every guy looks exactly like Gilbert Gottfried and sounds exactly like Gilbert Gottfried? Now, Mr. President, I don't understand. What are you with the 72 million what?
I think that might happen.
That sounds
that
about
could
like
very well
Willy
happen.
Wonka. That
That
sounds
might
That would
be
be
it.
so great.
I'd love it.
And
We'll get at least one of those guys.
And every woman, you know,
All right.
is like, you seem nice.
So
You
Monday.
seem like a good boy.
Monday, join us
You're a
Monday.
nice guy.
Next time, I expect you all to call in. Please leave your comments below. I'm sure you're going to, and you're going to complain there weren't enough conservatives. If you're in LA, come on the show. So thank you again to Brett,
I'm in the
Maggie, and
middle.
Ron.
Thank you.
And thanks to all of you. Please
Center.
share this and
Go Obama.
tweet it and everything you can. And thanks for joining us.
Thanks.